That that sucked. After the Blue Jays have been playing some very good baseball, getting some very good starting pitching, and getting some clutch hits, Jays lose 12-2 to the Houston Astros, and 9 of their 12 runs came in the first 3 innings. Aaron Sanchez, back off the DL, has a very tough outing. 1 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 8 runs, 5 of them were earned, and he had 4 walks. Now, I can't blame this thing wholeheartedly on Sanchez. The defense, I mean, they made an error, yes, but there were also some mental mistakes that we saw, and it wasn't fun to see there. But we noticed in the first few innings, Aaron Sanchez was getting squeezed hard by the umpire. And as a pitcher, it's easy enough for people to say, well, you just got to keep throwing it in those spots and you'll eventually get the calls. Well, as a pitcher, you get a little flustered. Aaron Sanchez just came off the DL, and this is his first start back, and he's facing a very good team. And he's painting corners, but the umpire's not giving it to him. So what does that force him to do? Throw it right where you don't want to throw it, because that's where the strike zone is gonna be, and he gets lit up. And I'm not saying the whole thing was the umpire's fault. Did he make some bad pitches? Yeah, I'm not going to say that Aaron Sanchez was great and the umpire was just garbage. However, you still got to make quality pitches. I understand he's not calling it, but look, you got to keep doing your job. You can't change the way you're pitching and just throw meatballs down the middle. And there were times where he got lit up. I mean, right in the first inning, Correa home run, it's 2-0 early. Then in the second inning, George Springer with a 3-run shot. Marwin Gonzalez grounds out, but it's an RBI ground out. Then Beltran hits an infield single, 1-run scores. Gaddis doubles to center, and a run scores. And that's all in the first 2 innings against Aaron Sanchez. And it's not like he walked in a run or something. It was all that. We get the third inning. Sanchez didn't even get to the third inning, but then Reddick singles to right, Springer scores. Springer hits a sacrifice fly. Bregman scores, and it's 8-0 after 3. Excuse me. It is 9-0 after 3. The Blue Jays offense, I mean, yeah, they weren't anywhere to be found, but my gosh, when you're down 9-0 after 3 innings, there's no real, how do I put it? There's no real fight to get back into the game because it's so much. And I get that. If it was 2 or 3-0 for the longest time and then we get blown out, yes, okay, I blame the bats. But the small zone of the umpire plus the inexecution of Aaron Sanchez's pitches occurs, a big deficit happens early, and we know what happens when the Blue Jays get down early. I mean, we've seen over the last little bit, Blue Jays score first. It's a recipe for a win. Now, obviously, yesterday they didn't score first, and they lost, and they won. But in the Yankees, 7-6 victory. Obviously, they were up 5-0, but they scored first. You look at the 4-1 win over the Yankees. Jays scored 4 runs. They were the first team to score runs, and they won that game too. It's just like hockey. It's not as definite as hockey is, but when you score the first goal in hockey, you look at the records for teams. I mean, it's crazy the good records you see when your team scores first. It's not as definite with baseball, but it always gives you that little edge as the other team's trying to crawl back into it. And the Blue Jays were down like that. I mean, how do I put it? The Achilles heel for the Blue Jays this season has been that very first inning. We've seen it countless time and time again. When the Jays get down early, the offense shuts down. And the Jays were down 2-0 after the first. Nothing happens in the second. After 2 innings, they're down 8-0. The bats go silent after that because they're like, well, we're just going to start swinging for dingers because why not? And nowhere to be found, right? And you look at, obviously Aaron Sanchez didn't pitch well. Then you bring in Mike Bolsinger because he was your long man out of the pen. I mean, he pitches 5 1/3. He gives up 4 runs on 6 hits. So he does strike out 7 guys, but a lot of strikeouts, a lot of runs doesn't really matter. If you strike out a lot of guys and have a good outing, then great. And also Jeff Beliveau, he's one of the only positives out of this game. 2 innings, 1 hit, and struck out 2 guys. He was fine. Any good hits? Tulowitzki was 2 for 3. He continues to swing the bat pretty well. I mean, everyone's talking garbage about Tulowitzki. He's almost at 250 now, swinging the bat, which is all right. But really, other than that, There's a couple guys that are 1 for something, but other than that, the offense was silent. And the bullpen, other than Beliveau, I mean, there's only 3 guys. Sanchez did, Balsinger was, and Beliveau was fine. But other than that, you saw yesterday after the Jays did a really good job shutting down or neutralizing the Houston Astros. They came out today with their swinging shoes on and took it to the Blue Jays. Now, with this loss, that does not mean we just throw the season away. Now, we won 3 in a row. Now, this is the test, right? This is what good teams have to face. I understand we're not record-wise and overall-wise not a great team, but this is what good teams do. You win 3 in a row, right? You lose 1. Now, what do you come back with? Do you come back the next day and get obliterated again or lose again? Or do you come back after a really rough game and get a victory? That's what we have to see. Now, none of this win-loss garbage. We're tired of that. But can the Jays, and this is going to be a real test. After winning 3 in a row, you lost 1 bad. Okay, fine. You can lose 3-2 or 12-2. It doesn't matter. It's 1 loss. And can they win the next 2 to head into the All-Star break, winning what 5 of their last 6, and winning the last 2 series to end to go ahead into the break, and that's a positive. But you got to take it 1 game at a time. Today was a rough one. Marcus Stroman on the mound tomorrow versus Mike Fiers. It's going to be a good pitching matchup. It's an afternoon game, obviously. And Sunday, just a preview at Brad Peacock versus J Happ. J Happ's been throwing the ball really well as of late. Looking to see a bounce back for Stroman. Well, not really a bounce back, hopefully that blister doesn't flare up on him like it did in the last game and what we've seen from Aaron Sanchez. But for the Blue Jays, we got to look game by game. You just lost a game. Now, what do you do after that? That's the key to after winning 3 straight, you don't go out and lose 2 or 3 in a row. It's a waste of time winning 3 in a row, right? It's what you do after the loss, after your nice little streak. That's the big stuff. What you do after that 1 loss, and that's what we're going to see tomorrow afternoon. And I'm hoping for a great outing from Stroman. If he can dominate, keep the ball down, he'll be in a good spot. If the Jays offense can show up early and get that early lead, it's a recipe for a good job because Marcus Stroman with the lead is very, very good. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and are pretty bummed about this game, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of this game. Do you agree with the whole Aaron Sanchez deal about the umpire squeezing him? But you still got to execute at times. He didn't look that great. However, if he did get some of those calls, some of the situations could have been different. So it's tough to say. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow afternoon as the Jays look to bounce back and get the 2-1 series lead in this 4-game set. It's a big one tomorrow because it would show a lot for this team. Talk to you guys then.